Alright, here we are back with a Week 16 predictions video. We're joined by the Browns user. Anderson, what's up, man?
What's going on? How you feel?
Alright, another great week in Madden. We're going to go through the weekly and yearly awards. And then we're going to run through this playoff scenario for everybody. First one we're going to do of the year. Some teams already eliminated. There's others still that have outside chances. Some teams took hard losses today. Some teams have already gotten victories they need to put them in the right pace to make the playoffs. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the yearly awards. The weekly awards, excuse me. On the NFC side, Saquon Barkley had 10 carries for 133 yards and 2 scores. Also 88 yards receiving and a score, so a really good all-around game for him. For the Trevin Diggs, I think is his first name, for the Seahawks, had 1 tackle, 3 interceptions, a forced fumble, and a fumble return. Fumble recovery. So that's a really good game for him there. What about on the AFC side?
Yeah, on the AFC side, we had the wide receiver Olev. I'm not sure of his first name. Played for the New England Patriots. He had 6 receptions for 181 yards with 4 reception touchdowns, which is absolutely crazy. Big week for him. And then AFC defense, not new to this award. Gladney had 3 tackles, 4 interceptions, a forced fumble, and 2 touchdowns. He probably have every award locked up defensively as far as defensive rookie of the year and also defensive player of the year in the AFC. So big week for him also.
I want to play them just because I don't understand how people are allowing him to get that many yards. And not many yards, how many plays he makes. How do you allow 4 picks, a forced fumble, and 2 touchdowns by one guy?
I watched a few snaps earlier when he played the Giants, and the guy's just all over the place. The Jets user skills are incredible, man. So he baits you really, really well. So it looks different than what it is actually playing, but I understand what you're saying. How do you let that happen? But it's easier said than done playing against him.
Yeah, he's tough. There's a reason he's undefeated. He's only lost 3 total games or something.
Yeah.
Something stupid. Let's look at the league schedule here. I know that a lot of games were played. We still want to get this prediction video in, mainly for the playoff scenario, but we'll go through these.
Okay.
Jets and Giants played. Jets made himself 15-0 with victory here. He absolutely curb stomped Peso here, but Peso's having a down year. He's trying to figure out what's going on at quarterback with Danny Dimes out. Tyree Jackson had 5 touchdowns. Wando Robinson ran for over 100 in the score. Jamar Chase and Henry Ruggs both had over 100 in multiple scores. And on defensively, you already said Gladney's. Well, this is another week of Gladney. Let's see what he got here. 10 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and an interception. So kind of a down week, I guess, for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, and 1 defensive touchdown. He's only.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said, and he's only a rookie.
Exactly. A big key for the Jets was holding Saquon Barkley to 67 yards rushing on 19 carries,
yeah, that's huge.
I mean, that's his offense right there. So he took him out of the game, and I think that was all she wrote from there.
Now this next one was interesting. I saw it earlier. Tampa Bay was trailing going into the 4th, 28-24, to the Panthers, who are 1-13 or 1-12 in the year. I think it was mainly because he was trying to force feed Whitfield, I believe. Justin Field threw 6 touchdowns, and 5 of them were to Deion Whitfield. So that's my guess. That's what he was trying to do. The reason he was kind of playing around, the score wasn't as much. Judy went over 100. Christian McCaffrey held to 95 yards on the score. Like Saquon Barkley is pretty much the Panthers' entire offense.
Yeah.
On defense, Isaac Taylor-Stewart had a pick, 6 tackles. Pretty all-around game, no outlandish stats. Brian Burns for the Panthers did get 4 sacks, though. So good game for him there.
Yeah, and the Bucs scored 25 points in the 4th quarter, which is
yeah, that's what I say. He's trailing going into the 4th. He all points there. I guess he kind of stopped playing around. This one also a surprising one. The Bengals only have 1 win on the year. Tennessee beat them only by 14 points. Was only winning by 8 going into the 4th quarter. But I know with him, he tries different things all the time. He's trying to figure out what's good, what's not for his team. Turnovers are the key always for Cincinnati with his losses. 4 picks here. 4 thrown by Tua as well, but he threw 4 touchdowns. Uh, Rondale Moore, the wide receiver, ran 13 times for 89 yards and a touchdown. So I don't know what's up with that. Jet sweeps just a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
Kenny held pretty low with 27 as well.
I watched a little bit of this game earlier while I was at work while I had some downtime. It was a lot. It was a very very close game. I actually was thinking like in my head like, wow, the Bengals might pull this upset off. Like I said, I seen a play earlier in the first quarter when he was on a 1 yard line and he had it was fourth down and he elected for the field goal, which I was like, you got to go for that and make this guy drive 99 yards. If anything, 94, 95 yards down the field if you lose any yards. But he played tight and held tight the entire game, so I actually was thinking he was going to pull out at the end.
Yeah,
But
especially when you play good users, you can't. I know the logic is take the points, but you have to get as many points as you can. You know what I mean?
exactly.
I definitely would have gone for it there. I don't think
Yeah,
I've ever kicked a field goal from the 1 yard line. I'm gonna be honest with you.
yeah.
um,
Me neither.
on defense, Adore Jackson 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 picks. So good game for him there. Um, looks like Buffalo played the CPU. He won 59-38. I know both quarterbacks threw 5 touchdowns. It's a CPU game, so we're gonna run over pretty quickly. McGraw had 190. Kendrick Rogers had 143. Still looking for Dolphins user. Lots of talent on that team. Darby and Howard combined for 20 tackles. Um,
And did the Bills lock playoffs up with that win?
yeah, I was gonna get into him at the playoff scenario,
Oh,
but
I'm
yes,
sorry.
no, you're
I'm
right.
sorry.
But you hit it right on the nose. There were some teams that needed him to lose, and he locked himself into the 6th seed with the victory here. So it's a very
Nice.
important win for him. 2 teams here that had 5 wins, the 49ers and the Eagles. See if he can get that 6th victory. Philly put it on him for the most part. Only 169 total yards of offense for San Francisco. Neither quarterback played very well at all. 8 picks, 1 touchdown. Isaac Luckett had a decent game for the Eagles. Le'Veon held in check with only 75 yards. He's got to get Le'Veon going if he's going to have better games. I wonder who caught the receiving touchdown. A tight end, 6 yards receiving.
Yeah, I played the 49ers last week, and it was
Yeah, I think, speaking of playoff dreams getting crushed, what happened last week?
oh man, it was crazy. It was kind of back and forth the entire game. I was gaining a bunch of yards, but I wasn't able to convert like in the red zone, or I missed out on a bunch of third down plays, and I was just stopping him. He got a big key turnover where he jumped over the line and like sacked my quarterback before he handed it off, and he fumbled and he returned that for a touchdown. And then he got a big PI call with like 30 seconds left with the score tied. He like threw a bomb and got a PI call inside to like 20, and then had to use all my timeouts, and that was all she wrote. But it was like another crusher, similar to the Steelers game a couple weeks ago that I played. It's just like
It seems like the Browns
some
always
things you
fall
can't
short
control,
at the end.
man.
You know, it's tough. It's really rough. You got to take them early season games serious. I know a lot of people in this league kind of bullshit through the first 6 to 8 weeks, and then you
Yeah,
start playing tough, and sometimes it's just too late to get where you need to be for playoffs.
exactly. But I learned my lesson. It bit me, I benefited from it last year, but it bit me in the backside this year. So
Yeah,
I'll
it
come
allowed the
out.
Steelers to get their first division title this year. Um,
Yeah, congrats to the Steelers, by the way, man. Well deserved.
that I don't want to pick on Chat, but that leaves him as the only team in the division not to win the division.
Oh
Um,
wow.
he has made the playoffs though in the first season as a wild card team, but you know. All right, that game over though. Um, so we got 4 more to run over. Arizona beat the Steelers 27-13 here, in a heartbreaking game for some teams. Both of the Steelers are locked into the 4 seed, and the Cardinals with a win, I believe, are locked into the 5 seed. Yeah, they are. Um, the Saints are in trouble now if Atlanta wins this week. His playoff hopes are really fringing on the Cardinals and the Falcons losing, and this
Got
is
you.
not good for him. He is also a new year to the league, first year, so yeah, that one sucks. Josh Rosen struggled with 4 picks. It looks like it's probably what cost him the victory here. Uh, he was adamant about running Connor 20 carries, but 1.7 yards a carry is not going to get it done.
Wow.
Yeah, I know Connor's slow in this game, but come on, 34 yards. Um, Receiving, Mike Evans had 67 in the touchdown. On defense, nothing really in particular standing out. Jordan Hicks led all teams with tackles. Tough game
Okay.
though for teams there. Steelers have clinched the playoff berth after next week though, so he'll be playing the Patriots in the first round. That's a lock. It'll be Steelers Patriots.
That's like the norm for like the last 3 years. The AFC North plays the Patriots because the
Yeah,
Patriots just can't get a division crown, and it seems like the AFC North is always locked into that fourth seed.
yeah, it tends to happen a lot. The AFC North tends to have like the lowest division winner usually. Not always, I know the Browns have finished third before, but you know, you'll have to take them back to the former glory next year.
I hope so.
Dallas was eliminated going into this game against the Rams. They still played them tough. LA only won 30-17. Um, as always with Dwayne, when he struggles, that's usually because of the picks. He threw 4 picks, while Jared Goff threw 4 touchdowns. DJ Dallas, the backup running back, had 83 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Zeke Elliott was held to 18 yards. So that's strange.
That's huge, yeah.
Um, Brandon Cooks had 6 catches for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns, while rookie Kevin Almodovar, I think that's how you say it, had 83 and a touchdown. Defensively, um, nothing really standing out to me when I'm looking at. Dylan Moses had 2 picks. Marcus Davenport had two sacks.
All right.
Almost through these last two. This one is one that I got to watch some of. I was really looking forward to watching this game. Denver had a lead for a while there early in the second quarter. Did go in trailing 34-28 at halftime. Came back in the fourth quarter, but just couldn't quite pull the upset on New England. Um, the Broncos already
I was watching
eliminated.
a little bit of that earlier too. I seen it. I seen it when you put out upset alert, but by the time I tuned in, it was like 48-35, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, he kind of just slipped away there at the end. That's what good teams do. Good teams may trail in the first half. They come back and get the victory always.
Yeah.
He
Joe
almost fell short though there at the end. Uh,
Joe
Denver,
Burrow had a monster game.
yeah, 430 and 5 scores. That's exactly what he was doing when he was playing for the Jets. Not so much lately for the Patriots, but
Yeah.
Kellen Mond those 2 scores. Um, I know that even Jets made a comment. This Tyreek Collins, wide receiver, is just stupid fast. He had a 51-yard rushing touchdown. Tony Pollard back from injury for the first time in 8 or 9 weeks or something like that. He has a big game, 149 at the score. Corey Grant goes for 123 and 2 scores. Chris Olave was the player of the week last week. May get it again
Yeah.
this week with 6 for 226 and 2 touchdowns. That's just stupid.
It's insane.
And on defense, nobody had more than 5 tackles. Jonathan Jones came up with 2 picks. Minka Fitzpatrick had a pick six for the Broncos. I know that was one of the real tide turners early in the game. Um, and the last one, this is one that I was talking about heartbreak for losses. Looks like there was no fourth quarter scoring at all. Saints fell short. He's going to be in a tough scenario if Atlanta wins this week. I mean, he's not eliminated yet. Even if Atlanta wins, he won't be eliminated. I don't believe, but it's going to be tough for him.
Yeah, it seems like they locked in the fourth quarter, man. Like I guess they realized the sense of urgency on each side, and was and
Yeah,
just kind of
CJ plays tough. He doesn't give anybody anything, even when he's eliminated. So
yeah,
Sam Darnold went for 202 scores. Russell Wilson for 5 touchdowns. What he does. Dalvin Cook went for 200 yards and a touchdown. Saints always a good run team. Um, on defense, Bobby Wagner had 8 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. Only 1 pick in the whole game by the Saints. Only 4 total sacks, all 4 by the Saints. Um, I guess it just looks like they just couldn't stop Russell Wilson.
yeah. That's what it seems like.
All right, now we can get into some actual predictions for the rest of these games, what they mean, so on and so forth. We got the Colts at the Jaguars. With a Bills win, the Colts are officially eliminated from the playoffs. I am glad to see him back fighting for it. It's the first time he's had more than 6 wins in a season since year 1. So glad to see him
Wow.
here. Who you got in this game?
This is going to be a tough one. I think they're. I think the Jaguars are slightly better user than the Colts. So just based off that, I think I'm gonna take the Jaguars. Jaguars do turn the ball over a little bit, but I think the better user will prevail on this one. I like the Jaguars. I'm gonna go 2017 Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm going Jags. Defensive game, Jags will score some though. Colts struggle offensively against the Jags. Seems like always. I'm gonna take the Jags here for sure. Probably about 2 scores. Packers at Bears. Having some scheduling conflict on this one, but we're gonna get it played for sure. We're gonna find a way to. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, Packers been having a down year this year, and I think the last couple years they've been kind of off track. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know you're. Did you win last week? I mean, did you played the Bucks last week, right? So you're coming off a loss. I know you're
Yeah,
looking to.
we don't want to talk about that game.
You looking? I'm saying that you're looking to get your boys back on the road this week, heading into the playoffs. So I like a big win for you guys, man. I probably go 50. I'm going high, like 52-21.
We got to make up for the amount
Bears.
of points that we didn't score last week. Putting up a
Yeah.
goose egg on the scoreboard. I'm going to stick with myself here. Definitely like what you said. We need to put up some points. I got a few a few players up for a dev trait upgrade this game.
Oh, nice.
Somehow, but so I think we're going to get the victory. On to you now. The Browns at the Ravens. Battle of the
Yeah.
5 and 9 teams who are both eliminated. This one's more about bragging rights. Who's going to finish second in the division? You think you can be able to get this win?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pull it off. I think I got Chap's number. It seems like, but I let you guys know earlier in the chat. I'm gunning for 2K for Kareem Hunt, so I'm gonna be definitely running the ball a lot. Try to keep these guys' morale up a little bit, I guess. But yeah, I'm not looking for anything but to get Kareem Hunt's 2K. Okay, let's kind of go over some things that I've done differently on defense. Try to work on some things like that. But I think I'm gonna go with a close game, a 10-point win. I'm gonna go 30-20 myself.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Browns here. Good run game. Baltimore tends to have problems stopping the run, so I'm gonna stick to Cleveland here. I'm going 221 yards and 3 touchdowns for Kareem Hunt.
I like it. That'll put me over 2,000 yards actually.
Yeah. All right, we got the Chiefs at Raiders. Raiders are eliminated from the playoffs with the Bills win. He's had a good year. I am predicting he'll be back in the playoffs next year. So as a wild card team, probably. He's a tough user. He played me tough earlier in the year. Chiefs, his first full season with the league. He's got lots of weapons. He'll be good next year too. Um, I'm thinking Raiders are going to win this game. He's got to find some sort of offense now that he's lost his starting running back. But yeah, I'm taking Raiders here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Raiders. This one too. They had a bounce back year. I think they're even despite the loss last week, they still played pretty. They're playing pretty good ball. I think they're just gonna ride this wave and then kind of hope they can take this momentum into next season, have a good off season, and then kind of pick up where they left off this season.
Last one's
So I like the Raiders 22-20, 22-20. I like a close game. Raiders 22-20.
That's a good guess. I'm actually going to go like 24-21. This will be the last one. Texans and Falcons. Redskins are taking a forced win, and so are Chargers over the Vikings CPU.
Okay.
So last game is going to be the Texans at the Falcons. Atlanta needs this win here. Houston's playing really good football. They beat the Titans last week, actually, and them a 28-24 loss. So they're playing really good. So this is not going to be a pushover at all for Atlanta. He desperately needs this victory to hold himself in that 6th seed. So I'm gonna stick with the Falcons here. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Falcons too. His user skills and his records haven't been matching up, which is throwing me off. He's a very good user, but he haven't been having very good seasons. But I'd like him to pull this one out and hold on to that 6th seed in the playoffs. I'll go with the Falcons 28-21, the touchdown victory.
I think it's gonna be close as well. I'm sticking with Atlanta though. Let's go over the yearly awards. I'll run through the NFC first, and then
Okay.
go through the AFC. For the MVP, Gladney's leading the way, followed by Whitfield. It's gonna be one of these two guys. Not sure how close it is. Probably Gladney, to be honest. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Dion Whitfield leads the way, followed by Saquon Barkley. Was held to a low game. I don't think he could have caught Whitfield anyway. Um, Dude's got like 35 or 50 touchdowns or whatever it is in a year. It's just a stupid high number. Um,
Yeah.
Defensive Player of the Year. This one is frustrating for me because it's the first time I've seen it. But Dylan Moses has passed Roquan Smith as Defensive Player of the Year. Granted, he's played his game this week and I haven't played mine yet, so I'm gonna be out for blood with Roquan. Kelsey Roach is down there in third. Offensive Rookie of the Year. This is gonna be Whitfield. It's not gonna be close. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, it's gonna be Tim Riggins. And I don't think this one's this close at all either, to be honest with you. What about the AFC
Uh,
side?
AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Austin Eckler. He has over 2,000 yards on the season already. I think he's surpassed that like last week. So he'll probably end up winning the Offensive Player of the Year award, followed by Jalen McGraw that's been putting up crazy numbers. Him and that quarterback together seems like a match made in heaven for the Bills. And then in third we got Tyree Jackson. I mean, I don't see how you gonna put a quarterback up there when your team is 15-0, and it's just hard not to. And then fourth, I'm going to throw myself Kareem Hunt, the Browns. Even though they're having a 5-9 season, he's still
99
putting up
overall.
some
Wow.
pretty good numbers. And then for Defensive Player of the Year, of course, Gladney. He probably got that locked up, but actually they got the top four Defensive Player of the Year
Yeah,
candidates:
which is crazy.
Winovich, Terrell Lewis, and Darian Kendrick. So I guess it really doesn't
It's
matter.
all NFC East all the way down to ninth. It's all
Oh
NFC
yeah,
East.
I didn't even realize that.
All Pats
And
and
then
Jets.
Miles Garrett, I
Throw
threw
him
my
at 10.
guys in there too since he's on there at 10. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we got Spencer Ackerman. Like I said, him and McGraw, man, they've been tearing it up as far as stats go. They're having a really good year. Followed by Bernard Donnelly. He probably get involved this week with the Raiders running back being out, I think you said.
Yeah.
And then third is DeMarcus Telfair from the Baltimore Ravens. I'm not sure what position he plays
He's
though.
a wide receiver.
I'm not too familiar with him.
Yeah, he's a wide
Uh,
receiver.
Defensive Rookie of the Year, we have obviously Gladney. She's going to sweep all the major awards this year, followed by DeMarco Bogan from the Miami Dolphins, which is kind of odd because it hasn't been a CP user all year, I don't think. um, and then Larry Berry of the Houston Texans.
Yeah, it's
So those are our top three.
after we're getting close to the end here on these awards, so make sure you're making a hard push, guys. You want to get one. Quickly here, we're gonna
Yeah.
go over this playoff scenario for everybody. Um, well, I had everything wrote down in the chat earlier, but a bunch of teams have played since then. Looking on the AFC side, Jets have clinched the 1 seed. There's nothing he can do or anybody else can do to change that. The 2 seed is going to be the Titans, unless he. No, I take that back. Even if yeah, if he were to lose next week, and the Chargers won this weekend next week, the Chargers would take the 3 seed. The Chargers are playing two CPUs, I believe, or he's got the Broncos. So he's got an outside chance of the two, but it's probably going to be the Titans with a victory next week. It'll beat
Yeah.
Tennessee, which would lock the Chargers into the 3 seed. Steelers are already locked into the 4 seed. He's playing the Patriots, who are going to lock into the 5 seed. And Buffalo, although the game hasn't registered yet. Oh, yeah, I've made a mistake. I did not realize
Uh
the
oh.
Jaguars had a tie on their record. Um,
Oh.
so if the Jags were to win both their last 2 games, they would finish 9-6-1, while the Bills would finish 9-7.
Which will put the Jags in the playoffs.
Yeah, so the Bills are going to need to win next week to clinch their playoff berth. Jags definitely have to win out to make it. Raiders, Texans, and Colts all lose tiebreakers. Checked that earlier. They tie with the Bills, so they're all eliminated. But it's going to be Bills or Jags here. Bills need to win next week to clinch it. Jags need to win both their last 2 games to clinch it. I'm actually gonna roll over here to the schedule just because I
I'm doing that right now, actually, as we speak.
yeah. All right. Who the Bills got left? The Bills have got.
It'll be tougher for the Bills. Eagles and the Bills got the Eagles next week. It's not going to be a
Yeah,
pushover.
it's not a pushover game at all, for sure. And the Jags play Colts and Patriots. That's a tough last one.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so, but he's definitely got the talent and the user to win both these games. Obviously, so Buffalo not quite out of the hot water yet. I didn't realize the Jaguars had a tie in their record.
Yeah, so
All
I'll
right.
be tuning in. Make sure you guys, if you can, if you stream those games, I'll be definitely looking
Yeah,
to
stream
tune
as many
in.
games as you can. Doesn't have to be a game of the week or something like that for you to stream it.
Yeah,
Um, but all the division winners are set up. The AFC is pretty much everybody's locked into their own place, except for that last slot.
that last spot, yep.
NFC wise, Bucks are going to get the 1 seed. Uh, Rams uh, has locked the 2 seed now. Because even if he lost, he'd be 13-3, and if the Bears tied him at 13-3, he has the tiebreaker. So
Yeah,
Rams are
okay.
locked into the 2 seed, which is going to lock the Bears into the 3 seed. So the 4 seed is going to be the winner of the NFC East, which let me roll down here.
The
Yeah,
Redskins looks like, right?
yes, the Redskins is he's got this one locked
Okay.
up because he has the division tiebreaker, I believe. He's 3-2 in division. Oh, so with a victory at all, he would be the division winner.
Got you.
If he were to lose his last 2 games, no, he has the NFC wins as well. Never mind. So sometimes the game doesn't register things because it's behind, but with this loss this week, um, the
The
Giants
Giants
have
put themselves out, yeah.
yeah, they've been eliminated. So glad to see the Skins back in the playoffs, which locks him into the 4 seed. Back
I
to
know
where
Dean will be proud.
yeah, I know. I was just talking to Dean in the chat. He's got to be proud of his Skins. Um, Cardinals with a victory this week over the Steelers have locked themselves into the 5 seed. So he's going to have a matchup with the Redskins in the first round. So
Wow.
that's gonna be a really interesting game there. One of them, I think the Cardinals beat the hell out of the Skins a few weeks ago, 41-20.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I know he's looking for revenge there, which means the Bears will play the 6 seed. And we got a 2-team race between the Falcons and the Saints. So here's the basic rundown. Saints have to win next week or they're eliminated. They have to finish 9-7, and the Falcons have to lose both of their games. If the Falcons win this week or next week, he clinches the 6 seed. So really, really big, important game there for both these teams coming up this week. Atlanta plays the Texans, so Texas can spoil some hopes and dreams up there. Let's scroll over to these to the records real quick. I just want to see who they played, who their last game
Okay.
is.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm hoping the Falcons hold on to the 6 seed because I know you guys go back and forth in
I
the chat, and that'll be like very interesting. So Falcons, let's go. I just can't wait for the trash talk and everything that's going to go on when that game is played.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm kind of hoping that the Saints get the seed. The Saints are going to win next week. He has the Vikings CPU, but the Falcons have the Panthers and the Texans. So unless he lost both of those games, can't imagine that happening. He's too good of a user. The Saints are
Yeah,
going to get eliminated. Not looking forward to playing Noob. I am 4-0 against him, but lots of trash talk and tough games and stuff like that. Is not someone that anyone ever looks forward to playing in the playoffs.
exactly.
He's
I'm
tough to
looking for.
watch.
And I hope he wins out or clinches the spot because I'll be tuned into the chat and into the game.
Um, all right, so that's going to do it for the predictions video. Next week, we're going to have a full breakdown of another playoff scenario and kind of like a live look in on kind of the playoffs and who's going to be playing each other, certain matchups and things like that. And next week will be the last week for awards as well. Great to have you
All
here
right.
again, man, for the second or third time this year. Looking forward to having you in the playoffs, maybe at least once. Um,
Okay,
so
definitely.
even though the Browns won't be playing this year in the playoffs, at
It's
least then
all
they
good.
can talk about it.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, lesson learned. All right.